studying the Bible and what is written about the figs of good and the figs of bad, and what can be eaten and administered for purity and wisdom that speaks in the fire of the dragon that is able to solidify a grinded down stone that can't enter into heaven unless it enters in one's own image. And in doing so, that purity 7 times in the archangel rises and is turned into a solid as the image of self. The good figs in some of the scriptures written in the Bible able to do those things, take the stone of those good figs and grind them down to complete dust in order to rise in the image of the favored one, able to enter into the kingdoms of hell's sanctuary where the clouds are, and into the stars heaven where God is. Grinding them down and solidifying them in a self-portrait or picture or image or mentality or like-minded with Jesus Christ or like-minded with God, both rulers of heaven and hell's sanctuary. There is a attachment to this good figs necessarily. If you read chapter 24 of Jeremiah, you can see that there is a slavery in a formed words of figs, good figs and bad figs. There is a terminology of literature that considers it to be a type of slavery, and perhaps a divination that is used to drive out them who have inherited the land of prosperity with God, the land of inheritance that is um, in Judah only. The kings of Judah who inherit the land, the princes of Judah. I'm not sure if it is the Judah tribe only, but it it says that the evil figs which cannot be eaten, they are so evil, surely thus saith the Lord, so will I give Zedekiah the king of Judah and his princes and the residue of Jerusalem that remain in his land, and them that dwell in the land of Egypt I will deliver them to be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth for their hurt, to be a reproach and a proverb, a taunt and a curse in all places whither I shall drive them. And I will send the sword, the famine, and the pestilence among them, till they be consumed from off the land that I gave unto them and to their fathers. This is the idea of lawlessness. And when I say lawlessness, this is the evil figs. And I had explained earlier in considering a law being split up into a separated um, ethnicity, that the people deal with their own people for this matter. And no law officer who is in the eyes of all people shall have authority in any kind of divination to practice upon them who are worthy and favorable in the eyes of all the archangels, able to purify that is not able to go into heaven through them, through that person. It has to go into the heavens through the image of the one that the archangels had favored. But they purposely are unfair. in the law. They're lawless. And this is some of the things that I've discussed in a letter format to a president for a greater American country. I didn't get very far. I had to take a time out. I got caught up in some legal situations that I'm still handling, but the Chaldeans are to take over the land. It says the Indians, one of the deepest rooted Indians known closely to be up in Canada and in Texas, in the eastern parts of Texas. A divination, a slavery of good figs and a slavery of bad figs, and only one image that is able to enter into the hell sanctuary and into the heavenly sanctuaries where the stars are after it is solidified and purified by that who is favored in the archangel. Jeremiah 24, this is something that the Lord had showed to, um, well, it says Jeremiah, the Lord had shown it to Jeremiah, and the two types of baskets of figs, like a basket case upon the head for a speaking, good and bad. And this is the attachment in, I'm all right, thank you. This is the attachment in the worldly order of Jesus in vain, the Lord in vain. The dark side of the Lord, the half face of light and the half face of darkness. And in that darkness is trapped the light until it is grinded down and sent back up into heaven. Granted that God has found the fire in your mouth, favorable to speak wisdom. Jeremiah 24.